A very good evening to you all, and thank you very much for joining us on Rwanda Television and News Tonight. Now here's a sneak peek of our edition News Tonight. President Paul Kagame has appointed Olivier Ngabo as the new permanent secretary in the Ministry of Sports, with Parfait Ishungure replacing him as the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Youth and Arts. Rwanda is steadily expanding its footprint in Africa's single market, while exports worth more than 1.2 billion Rwandan francs are reaching 10 African countries under the African Continental Free Trade Area (AFCFTA) since October 2022. And on the international scene, in the Ivory Coast, authorities have launched large-scale demolitions and evacuations in flood-prone areas of Abidjan. We're glad to have your company tonight. My name is Enora Gladys Awatoni. Now straight to the news in details. President Paul Kagame has appointed Olivier Ngabo as the new permanent secretary in the Ministry of Sports, with Parfait Ishungure replacing him as the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Youth and Arts. Olivier Ngabo had been serving as the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Youth and Arts since December 2024. Prior to that appointment, he had served as the executive secretary of the National Youth Council. Parfait Ishungure had been serving as the acting director of Middle East and Pacific in the Ministry of Foreign and International Cooperation. Now moving on with more news ahead, Rwanda is steadily expanding its footprint in Africa's single market, with exports worth more than 1.2 billion Rwandan francs reaching 10 African countries under the African Continental Free Trade Area since October 2022, from coffee and horticulture products to a growing network of cross-border businesses. The agreement is opening new opportunities for trade, investment, and economic growth. Our report looks at how Rwandan businesses are taking advantage of Africa's largest free trade area and the challenges that remain. We do have the details. A Ghanaian national, Bridget Harrington, is the chief executive officer of Igire Continental Trading Company, an African trading company that collects a wide range of products from Rwandan businesses and exports them to the Ghanaian market under the framework of the African Continental Free Trade Area (AFCFTA). Likewise, Bridget Harrington also sources products from various companies in Ghana and exports them to Rwandan market. She notes that in addition to trading products from other companies, she also processes and packages Rwandan coffee for export to Ghana.
Because we produce Igiri coffee, which is wholly Rwandan owned. But in addition to that, we aggregate and consolidate. So we purchase products from other small companies, and then we send those products into other markets in Africa. In addition to that, we purchase products from companies in Ghana, the chocolate bars and the cocoa powder, and we import that into Rwanda under AFCFTA, and then those products are distributed in the local supermarket chains. When we sent the initial products to Ghana, we were able to purchase 200 kilos of each one of the products that we exported. And what that did was it allowed us to combine 5 different suppliers' products into one shipment, to send them one place and to have them sell on one platform to be able to penetrate the market.
Exporters of vegetables, fruits, and flowers also say they have begun placing greater emphasis on African markets. However, they note that inadequate cold chain infrastructure remains a challenge, one they believe AFCFTA could help address.
Market is there, but there are still challenges of infrastructure because on the airport it's hard to get cold rooms, it's hard to get really professionals who can handle perishables. So that's a challenge which I think has obstructed our ambition to sell to the market. There is also the lack of the professionalism, I would say so, because there is that kind of mindset whereby they think good produce will come from Paris rather than from Africa. So that's a mindset which we are working on. I think by exchanging success stories, by exchanging what we do, by sending samples, that's something we think will change soon. So yeah, from there we also explore other markets like Botswana. We are in discussion with some partners or clients, potential clients in Botswana and Gabon, and as well as Nigeria. So we hope always what is encouraging us is whenever we send samples are accepted and really very good, beating other competition around. So we believe that in the future, as the infrastructure, as the countries keep investing in infrastructure, we believe that actually that market will also be a fruitful market.
Number one, we need to find alternative markets that are going to help us in case to become shock absorbers in case such calamities happen. Number two, that we need to increase our productivity and quality. That means we need to certify our products so that we can penetrate high-end markets like Europe, UK, and others. And then three, we also need to build the regional market so that we can improve on the way we trade within the region and also across the African continent.
As part of implementing the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, Rwanda exported a variety of goods worth more than 1.2 billion Rwandan francs to 10 African countries between October 2022 and 2025. Prime Minister Dr. Justin Nsengiyumva explains that this achievement is closely linked to private sector investment made in Rwanda.
Through sound policies, good governance, collaboration with the private sector and continued investment in activities that enhance productivity and improve the well-being of citizens, the government's goal is to continue building a resilient economy that creates opportunities for investors, generates employment, improves the quality of life of the population, and supports the country's journey towards the sustainable development it has set for itself.
On March 21, 2018, the AFCFTA agreement was signed in Kigali, marking a major milestone toward establishing a single continental market for trade across Africa. The agreement entered into force on May 30, 2019, following its initial ratification by 44 countries, while trading under the agreement officially commenced on 1 January 2021. The Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Rwanda Convention Bureau, RCB Maeva Haguma, says Rwanda's partnership with English football club Aston Villa is expected to boost tourism, attract international investment, and contribute to the development of football, particularly among young players. She made the remarks during an exclusive interview with our colleague Adams Kwizera.
It's always a pleasure to be with you right here on RTV. I'm Adams Kwizera, and I'm joined by Maeva Haguma, the Deputy CEO of Rwanda Convention Bureau. You are very welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, she's the one who is going to talk about this new partnership of Visit Rwanda and Aston Villa. So starting by there, what made Aston Villa the right partner of Visit Rwanda at this stage of Rwanda's global branding strategy?
So you see, this partnership, it's the next step, the next chapter for Visit Rwanda global marketing strategy. And Aston Villa, it's a big club in England, a clubs that play at the highest level, that have fans in Europe, but also all over the world. So becoming partner with Aston Villa and becoming the official front shirt partner of the club made totally sense. Front shirt is the premium visibility. That means that women and men teams will have Visit Rwanda for games, for interview everywhere. So that will help but it's not only just brand visibility. It's as well sports development, promotions of tourism, investment. Yeah, so it's all that.
Well, in understanding that, how do you expect this partnership to translate into tangible benefits for Rwanda in terms of tourism, foreign investment, and international business opportunities over the coming years?
So it's a long-term investment. Football, as you know, as everyone knows, it reaches people, millions of people. So that gives the opportunity that every game to showcase Visit Rwanda. Visit Rwanda to promote the destinations as a tourist, a hub of tourism, investment opportunities. So the goal is really to do that, but also the whole sport development part.
How many years?
Sorry?
How many years?
The deal, it's 2 seasons, yeah.
2 seasons. The agreement also includes collaboration of football development, as you reiterated, coaching leadership and professional development. What specific initiatives can Rwandans, particularly young footballers and coaches, expect from this deal?
I'll say for me, it's the most interesting part, exciting part, if I can say it like that. In collaboration with the Ministry of Sports, the Federation, as well as Aston Villa, we're creating programs for coaches, players, youth players, sport professionals. The goal is to build skills, shared knowledge, and create long-term opportunities for that will strengthen the football in Rwanda.
This is not the first club Vist Rwanda is going to partner with. There were several major European clubs you have been partnering and up to date. What lessons have been learned from those partnerships, and how will you shape this new collaboration with Aston Villa as well?
Partnerships, I'll say that it takes time. The lessons are, it takes time. Time and consistency to create a brand. And it's not all the partnership that we still have, help us make Rwanda, Visit Rwanda, a recognized destination brand in football. But it's not just about visibility. It's also about experience via players' visits, showcasing Made in Rwanda products. It's also telling our conservation story and also supporting grassroots football. All of that, we have it combined in this partnership with Aston Villa, which combine great visibility as well as initiative with lasting impacts for Rwandans and Rwanda, and tourism promotion, investment promotions, and all that.
How will you measure the success of this partnership, and what key milestones would you like to achieve during the life of the agreement?
A partnership, we measure it with time. So we'll see it in growth of tourism, we'll see it in people investing in Rwanda, international visibilities, of course, the project with sport development, the coaches, the players, all that. But like I just said, the goal, the ultimate goal, it's to have people come to Rwanda, invest in Rwanda, promote Rwanda, while at the same time creating opportunities for Rwandans.
Thank you so much for providing these insights on this new deal.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Until next time, so this was an exclusive interview with Maeva Haguma, the Deputy CEO of Rwanda Convention Bureau, who highlighted some of the key milestones that have been achieved and also what should we expect from the deal.
Rwanda's Credit Reporting Bureau, CRB, is calling on financial institutions to use digital payment and credit histories as alternative forms of credit assessment, a move aimed at expanding access to loans, particularly for young people who lack conventional collateral. We do have the details. A new survey by the Credit Reporting Bureau, CRB, shows that the use of digital payment services and borrowing in Rwanda continues to grow, although challenges remain. The managing director of CRB, Didier Mutabazi, says efforts are underway to make digital financial data more useful in expanding access to credit.
We are working on a project with our partners, and the first step has been simplifying service delivery. The next phase is implementation so that payment histories, including mobile money and other digital financial transactions, can soon be used to support access to financial services. Users of digital payment platforms and service providers say leveraging this data would help financial institutions better assess customers' creditworthiness and improve financial inclusion. Lee Naik, the Chief Executive Officer of TransUnion Africa, says Rwanda has made significant progress in digital payments, creating a strong foundation for using transaction data in lending decisions.
And a few months ago, back in March, in fact, Rwanda hosted the Inclusive FinTech Forum. And this is where we work collaboratively the telcos, the banks, the land, the agricultural entities, when we come together, we can be able to find a way to better empower digitally the people of Rwanda. If we can remove the friction, and the friction is an important point. Friction means that even if I intend to apply for credit, the physical paperwork, going to a branch, is too important. What our survey told us that even though 56% of people intend applying for credit, almost 50% of these people stop before they conclude applying for credit because it is too difficult to apply, or they're worried about the cost. So the more can be done with education, more can be done to make it frictionless, making it easier to borrow. So that's happening. And then there's the final thing that the government is driving, which is the creation of a digital ID. We know that everybody has access to mobile infrastructure and a cell phone. Not everybody has access to a physical ID. So there's a huge focus on doing more. And that can be applauded on the government's behalf because it's a really good initiative to bring us all together. As TransUnion, we want to be in the middle of that, working together with all of the key players to drive the inclusion of the small businesses and drive the inclusion of the consumers. We know that there's more employment and there's more access to larger products to allow you to take money to grow your small business or to access a car or to access a loan for a property, that you will create even further growth for the Rwandan economy.
The CRB survey found that 98% of Rwandans consider access to credit important, yet only 42% are confident they would qualify for a loan. Although 56% plan to apply for credit, nearly half, 49%, never submitted an application. The survey also shows that in 2025, 38% of respondents reported an improvement in their financial situation. 37% said it remained unchanged, and 24% experienced a decline. Despite this, 76% expect their finances to improve during the year. Among borrowers, 51% said they repaid their loans on time, while 49% struggled to meet their repayment obligations. CRB says using digital payment and transaction records alongside traditional credit data could enable banks and other financial institutions to make more informed lending decisions, while extending credit to underserved groups, particularly young entrepreneurs with limited access to conventional collateral. The Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources has announced that it is working with other institutions to address the high cost of irrigation water at the Gabiro Agribusiness Hub irrigation scheme in Nyagatare district. The issue was recently raised by investors operating in the hub during a meeting with the Prime Minister, Dr. Justin Nsengiyumva, when he visited the project. The Gabiro Agribusiness Hub is a government of Rwanda project aimed at promoting large-scale irrigated agriculture. It consists of extensive developed farmland allocated to both Rwandan and foreign investors. The first phase of the project, covering 5,600 hectares, has already been developed, with 4,000 hectares allocated to investors who primarily grow fruits and vegetables for exports to international markets.
The group of investors that I represent believes in the transformation that's taking place in this country. We have seen regulations and laws become updated to be very friendly for investors. We see a strong legal system. And then, of course, from an agriculture perspective, you can see the land around us is beautiful for cultivation. So Rwanda has an excellent climate for agriculture, particularly for horticulture. And so we thought that combination of a great legal framework and investment climate, combined with the right soils, the right climate, access to water, made this a perfect place for us to do our first agriculture investment as a company.
The irrigation water used at the hub is drawn from the Akagera River in the Karangazi and Rwimiyaga sector. Modern infrastructure has been installed along the river to deliver water to investors' farm through a 21-kilometer pipeline. Prime Minister Dr. Justin Nsengiyumva recently visited investors operating at the hub. One of the main concerns they raised was the high cost of the irrigation water.
I want to raise some other questions and what we can do, because everywhere in the world farmers are wondering how to put water in and here we are asking the question how to remove the water. So maybe there is something in the middle.
Now moving on with more news ahead. Welcome to the news in sports. Rwanda's motorsporting is entering a new era after years of steady progress. The country has produced one of its strongest performance yet on the continental stage. Rally driver Christian Kanangire believes the latest success is proof that Rwanda can compete with Africa's best, but warns that sustained investment in talent will determine whether the country can stay. William Evans Mutabazi has more of the story.
From the dusty stages of the Rwanda Mountain Gorilla Rally to the podium of the Africa Rally Championship, Christian Kanangire is helping rewrite Rwanda's motorsport story. 2 years after winning the 2024 Rwanda National Rally Championship, Kanangire and his team raised their sight beyond the domestic circuit, targeting success at the continental level.
And in 2024, we won the Rwanda National Championship. So, and a few more rallies here and there. And from there on, we knew that we should aim a bit higher. We should probably be looking at the Africa Rally Championship, second category for a start.
This year's Rwanda Mountain Gorilla Rally, that ambition became reality despite mounting pressure from regional rivals.
The just concluded Rwanda Mountain Gorilla Rally. We knew that we needed to push from the very start. It was a heavyweight competition. So we did just that. We pushed very hard from the very start, from SS1, and by end of day one, we are ranked number 1 in ARC2. So we struggled to keep our position. Pressure was too much, but we thank God that we managed to finish first in our category, ARC2, and first in the national championship as well. And yeah, to be able to fly the Rwandan flag so high and to put the flag at the podium.
Kanangire says the achievement reflects more than one successful weekend. He says motorsport in Rwanda has evolved steadily over the past 3 decades, with better organized races, stronger competition, and increasingly competitive machinery, transforming the sport, yet he insists that Rwanda cannot afford to mistake progress for a rival.
I feel very happy. I feel the pride of being a Rwandan among those big sharks in the pool of top 10 in Africa. But to be honest, I also feel very challenged that, carrying the name Rwanda at every rally this year was also a challenge that pushed me so hard, that helped me push my limits, discover my new limits. So all I can say is that it has not been an easy journey. Over the years, I would say motorsport in Rwanda has been growing at a very satisfactory pace. But we can do better. We can do better. We've been getting more performing engines, cars, from Rally 2 cars to Rally 3, from RC2, the ones we drive. So the numbers have been growing. The pilots, the quality of pilots and competitors has also been growing. But back to the local context, when you look at our comrades, the rally drivers from Rwanda, there is a lot that we still need to do in terms of attitude, in terms of training, but also in terms of performance. But performance, of course, depends on those 2 critical factors, depends on consistency. So we need to train hard. We need to have an attitude of willing to learn new tricks every day, and understanding that we are not yet there. We are not yet there when we compare ourselves to, even Uganda and Kenya. They're very far ahead of us in terms of, I would say, rally skills, because of the many rallies they organize, the many rallies they participate into. So as local drivers, we need to contribute. We need to be deliberate about that. We need to participate in as many rallies as we can. We need to train ourselves as hard as we can. And probably by doing those 2, we shall improve on the quality of our driving skills and the quality of our rallying events locally.
To compete consistently with regional giants such as Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, he says that local drivers must embrace a culture of discipline, continuous training, but responsibility, he urges, extends beyond the cockpit.
In short, I would say drivers should first change the attitude. We should train hard. We should prepare adequately and effectively our cars ahead of rallies. The Federation should really be intentional about coming up with projects that develop talents, Rwandan talents in rallying and motorsport in general. And then the government, I'm very sure, once we do that, it will be very happy to come in and support us as much as they will, just like they do it.
Government support, he says, has already played a significant role in elevating the sport, from hosting major FIA events to backing Rwanda's participation in international competition. The next step, he believes, that produce skilled drivers before investing in faster cars. The challenge now is ensuring that this generation's breakthrough becomes the foundation for the next, so that Rwanda's flag continues climbing podiums across Africa. William Evans, RwandaTV News.
And now that wraps up today's English News Bulletin. On behalf of the whole entire team, thank you so much for watching and joining us. Have a good night and a fruitful week ahead. My name is Honora Gladys Awatoni.